Hello and welcome. Today we're going to level up your English by looking at just five, little words that actually break some of the biggest grammar rules. And honestly, mastering these is one of the fastest ways to go from sounding like you're reading from a textbook to just speaking naturally. Okay, let's get right into it. So let's start off with a little puzzle for you. What do these three words, good, bad, and far, all have in common? Yeah, there's super common words we use all the time, but they also share this little secret that trips up even advanced English speakers. Stick with me and we're going to solve this thing together. But before we can break the rules, we've got to know what the rules are in the first place, right? So let's do a quick review of the standard, simple way we compare things in English. This is the foundation for everything else we're about to cover. First up, we've got the comparative. This is what you use when you're just comparing two things. He is taller than her, or this car is faster than that one. The rule is usually super simple. You just tack ER onto the end of the word. Bigger, smaller, taller. Easy enough, right?
Now, what if you're comparing, say, three or more things, and you want to point out the absolute number one? Well, that's when you use the superlative. Just think of Superman. He is the strongest, he is the fastest. For this, we usually add EST to the end. The biggest building, the strongest person, the fastest animal. It's the ultimate in its class.
So, we have our rules. Add ER for two things or EST for the top one. But here's the twist. Some of the most common, everyday words in the entire English language just completely ignore these rules. They play their own game, and that's exactly what we're here to master today. Let's start with maybe the most common pair of opposites out there, good versus bad. These two are probably the most important exceptions to get right, and thankfully, they come as this nice, neat little pair. Okay, now look at how these words just totally transform. We don't say gooder or goodest. That just sounds weird, doesn't it? Instead, we have good, better, and best. And for the opposite, it's not badder or baddest. Nope, it's bad, worse, and worst. The original word completely changes, which is exactly why they're rule breakers. All right, let's move on to our next pair of exceptions. And these are all about quantity. The words we use when we're talking about how much or how many of something there is. This chart shows us how we talk about amounts. So to talk about a large amount that's increasing, we go from many to more and finally to most. And for a small amount, we go from little to less and then to least. Again, these words change in a way you just kind of have to memorize, like I have the least amount of time, or she has the most friends. Our fifth and final exception for today takes us on a bit of a journey. It's all about describing distance, and that could be the physical space between two places, or even a more metaphorical distance between, say, two ideas. So the key thing here is the tiny change to the original word. We start with far. To compare two distances, we say one is farther than the other, and for the greatest distance of all, we say farthest. Now, while it does use and est, that little th sound in the middle, making it farther, that's what makes it an exception to the simple rule. Okay, so we've learned the five exceptions. So what? Why does any of this actually matter? Well, let's look at the payoff, because this is the fun part. We're about to see how knowing just these few words can take your English from sounding kind of awkward to absolutely awesome. Just listen to this paragraph for a second. You can understand it, but it sounds a little clunky, doesn't it? Cheryl was the #1 student, the biggest amount of awards, one not good mark. It just doesn't flow naturally. This is exactly the kind of English that happens when you don't know these exceptions. So let's apply what we just learned and see if we can fix this. We're going to swap out all those awkward phrases with our 5 powerful exception words. So much better. Just listen to how smooth this sounds now. Cheryl was the best student in her class. She had the most awards for doing so well. She had only one bad mark, and it was the least amount of mistakes on her tests, so she had the most success in school. Do you hear that difference? Using best student, most awards, and least mistakes, it just flows. The meaning is clearer, it's shorter, and it just sounds right. And that right there is the power of these 5 little words. It isn't just about memorizing boring grammar rules. It's about getting your ideas across more effectively and sounding more like a native speaker while you do it. The best way to make these stick? Seriously, try to use each one in a sentence today. Talk about the best part of your day or the worst movie you've ever seen. That's how rules become reflexes. So, all this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. These 5 exceptions, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. The English language is full of these little quirks and shortcuts that we all use every single day. So, what other grammar rules do you think we break all the time without even thinking about it?
It's a pretty fascinating question. Thanks for joining me today.